differences. Basically for your child, yeah. Hello, parents. So today we will be showcasting a memorable presentation on grade sevens, basically talking about their experience in grade six. Thank you and enjoy.
We're still grade 6 though. Do you remember how nervous I was when I first came to 6th grade?
Yeah, I remembered how nervous you was. Even I was nervous, but still, sixth grade somehow became one of my favorite years.
I remember how in class Vaibhav used to go, Auntie, Auntie, me, Auntie, all the time whenever Auntie asked a question to us.
And how Medha and Amni always used to team up in social class.
Do you guys remember the IMI trip? I remember the amazing activities we had, for example, ziplining and rappelling. And I also remember they used to give hot chocolate every morning. I used to put extra sugar.
Oh my god, I love that hot chocolate. But of course, I remember the InMe trip. Sanya and I hosted the talent show. It was amazing.
Oh, and and also, do you remember? But there are some things about regular school which I also really enjoyed and loved.
Like VPA. Things like visual arts and filmmaking really made it hard for me to decide which one to take. Will help here. This is a painting that me and my group made in visual arts. Thank you.
Badtameez dil, badtameez dil, badtameez dil.
Why are you singing?
That's a song that I learned in music, VPA.
Okay.
Oh, and we can't forget electives. Things like robotics, tinkering, chess, and so many more. There are so many choices to choose from. Don't forget physical education. And things like CSP, they give such a broader spectrum because there's new sports such as athletics, volleyball, coco, frisbee, and many more. And remember when you bring devices to school for the first time? I remember we were so excited when we had a session that was purely for devices.
Yeah, but you guys are forgetting the core classes. They were super fun too. The teachers were, kind, funny, understanding, a little scary at sometimes, but they're only nice when you did your homework, okay? So just
Oh, and I even remember those fun group projects we had, those peer teaching activities.
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Our batch enjoyed grade 6 to the fullest, and I hope the future batches will enjoy it too.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I don't think anything else could have made the beginning so much more interesting. So you guys can get back to your classes now. Okay. Thank you so much. So we have a couple of teachers here, since you all know. Okay. Now, quiet. Thank you. Yeah. As it's a working day, so not their team is not here. So we have Radha auntie there. So she is a mathematics teacher and she is the assistant coordinator of middle school. And we have Nancy auntie there. She's the social science teacher. Every time children talk about Nancy auntie quite a lot and her social science classes, very famous. And we have Hannah auntie here. So she is the one who is always keeping, she'll say that what you talk here always stays inside this room. So it is a service the social emotional learning and counseling. So she's been with Casey for the last year and she started bonding with the middle schoolers quite well. And they do start to talk to her and, when they have an issue, they knock on the door, walk inside and tell us that we need to have a conversation with Hannah auntie, and that's how it goes. Then we have Vinita auntie, computer sciences. Aju sir here, global perspectives, and he is also one of our specialists in photography. So he is going to be the one who is dealing with our filmmaking classes next year for visual performing arts. We have Amrita auntie and Anita auntie there. So Amrita is from Spanish department. I think quite a lot of you will know her as a parent and as a teacher. And Anita is working along with the student support services, as well as she's a French teacher, a multifaceted person again. We have Anup sir here. He's teaching science right now. And Vimal sir, if you all are up to, maybe we can end up with a small performance at the end. Okay, so he's ready. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah. How can I miss Ruth Andy? So she is the one with the, sometimes children tell her that, you make us feel like we don't miss our home. The kind of care, attention, and sometimes that scarier part, everything comes from all of us. So finally, I'm Vijana. I'm a middle school coordinator. We have our Hans sir. How can I forget? So he is our most famous drama teacher. Because of the number increased in drama, teachers had a problem this time because 40 students wanted to take drama in the visual performing arts, and they had a blast putting together their show and getting started with. So today what we are going to do is, hopefully all of you have your name and there is a number on it, correct? Yeah. There are teachers in all the corners and we are going to show you a card. So wherever you see this card, you can join that teacher in the group and we'll tell you what we are going to do. So even if husband and wife is there, it's a good deal. You can go to 2 different groups, okay? So if it is number 5, please come to me. Hello. Okay, all of us are settled. We can sit there. Anup sir, can you share the chart papers with us? We'll tell you what we are. Can we sit there in the place wherever we are? Please sit here as a small circle. You parents are quite easy. Our children don't do it this way, okay? Parents have been very good with all this. So, yes, we listen to teachers, right? Our generation was better. Let them not hear that I said this. So the idea today is to get the conversation starting. So each of the group has a teacher or two. We can start having the questions that is there in the mind about, say, for example, I'm here standing. Meghnadhan sir probably will come here. I'm holding on to it. He's setting up the students are there, so he's little busy right now. But that's okay. So we have divided the groups into Ruth, can you put the slide just to the previous one? Yeah. No, the next one. Yeah. So this is the grouping that we have done. You might have been wondering why there is different names on different numbers on each of the cards. So this was the idea. Other than us talking about everything, we thought about one of us will sit with you and we will have a small group discussion and ask all the possible questions, at least get it started. Okay, may not be able to finish answering everything at this point, yes, but we'll get the conversation started about a particular topic. Say, for example, language arts, math, science, and social, you will have Ruth auntie and Radha auntie. So a group of parents will be there with them and they will want to know about how it is in grade 6. Probably who is teaching that, no? How do you make a choice for visual and performing arts? What kind of sports activities that we are having? And it doesn't end here. So there is 2 columns on this particular chart that you can see. So key questions. So the point is, as and when the question comes, one person from your group who has a probably good handwriting can take the lead to write down the question. Just number it and write down the question. Don't try to answer it. Ruth, can you come to our next slide, which talks of the previous one, I think. Yes. So 10 minutes is for just asking questions. We are not trying to answer any questions, just writing it down as and when the way it comes. And trust us, all questions are good questions. Okay? So once that is done, we will sit together and summarize as a team the key points. So your key understanding, we'll start summarizing in the next column. Okay? Till that is clear? Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, lovely students. Thank you. So next 15 minutes is the show. So what we will do is, as a team, you can select 1 or 2 members from the team to come together. So you don't have to come to the stage over here. We'll just pass on the mic. And you can share what you understood out of it. Okay? So what we will also do is we will put this questions and understanding as a form of a slide. So in the slide deck, we will add it and we will share it with you all, anybody who missed it and all that. This is the plan. So 2 to 3 minutes, it's more like an elevator talk that you will be giving the key points. Okay? All good? Yes. Ruth Andy is very clear about timing. So you will see what she's going to do. So we have to be pretty fast. Okay? Can't waste any time. Yes, Ruth, can you get started? Please keep an eye on the time. Okay, 3 more minutes. So quickly start putting up. Fill the page. That's the whole point. Okay, fill the page today. It seems like that most of the groups are done. So if your questions are done, you can move back into the next part of it, the key understanding. Start listing it down. Okay. If your questions are done, please take time to do it, the key understanding now. Okay, time's up. So now it's time for us to list the key understanding if you have not started it already. Okay, so you can list that down. And There will be a general sessions for EPA, elective as well as the sports. Then we will be sending a write-up to the parents with each list of things. These are the things that are going to be there. And talk to your child based on their experience, they choose. Then only they stick with it. Okay, so that is done along with the homeroom teachers as a team. They sit together and they decide on. There will be sometimes conflict of no, only these. It is going to be a combination on 6, 7, and 8 students. So together, that's another thing. So it is going to push them for a next level of agility or a little bit more challenging units because they are with 7 and 8 students to work it out more. So there is a different kind of a collaboration that is involved in it and making them to work from each other and getting their ideas from the others, students who have been already doing that. So all those things helps. I'll put the points down, whatever you guys have understood, and we can share it together. I will be there when we share it. Summer sports activities. This I'll discuss with sir, and the thing is the heat.
Yeah,
That's what I wanted
that's what
to
she
know.
was telling.
Like chess or like table tennis. Yeah, something.
And they're also having the early morning classes. The timing is pretty good for outdoor early morning classes
Cricket, that's it.
and the basketball.
Please put those suggestions. It has suggestions.
Football also, the football, basketball and
You need to write it here because we have to this side. Yes. Only points. Yeah. Yeah. I understand. Yes. Okay, time's up. So I'll give you a minute to decide who is going to be the spokesperson in your team, and we'll pass on the mic. By your mic, you have. Can we start with team one? Okay.
gonna speak.
Okay, I felt that the creativity thing should be infused within the kids because in other syllabus,
We get
because that will invoke a lot of things and it will get better.
Center.
Okay. Please introduce yourself, your child, and
Sure.
then start.
Yeah, my name is Sriram, and I'm father of Anirudh. He's in grade 5 now at KC High. So I think we had like LA, social science and math in our group. The first thing that we understood is it's a giant leap for mankind. No, sorry, it's it's a significant jump for the kids going from 5th to 6th grade, right? So that's what we were told. In terms of like what to expect, because they're the structure is going to be different, right? So that's the understanding that we got. Essentially, they're going to like see new things like physics, chemistry labs, those kind of stuff, right? And then like lot of like writing. So this year is going to be moving away from digital to like, paperwork, right? So it's going to be a lot of like written homework, mostly like done in the school and then like they carry it over. It's not to like, having 4 hours of homework at the evening, right? It's just like 30 minutes of focused, activity, right? So that's what like the subject is going to be. For every subject, that's going to be the norm, right? So where you're going to like, your kid is going to like come back home, write 30 minutes, right? Focused writing, focused doing the homework. Yeah, child takes responsibility for learning. I think that's a given, right? So child always, parents don't want to support. So that's, we don't support.
You can definitely support. Please, please do support.
So I mean, there it's written parents to support. I just like twisted it. So just me. Yeah.
No, that
No, that-
support, yeah.
that-
We will differentiate between what really is a support. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's my wife. She finishes the homework. For me. So that's
Hopefully, she's not listening to the conversation. Oh, God.
so it's going to be you're going to have continuous assessment, which was not there in 5th grade. So this time, like you're going to have continuous assessment, papers, quizzes, different kind of activities, class activities. There's going to be one progressive test at the end of both the semesters. It's not like mid-semester thing, semester 1, semester 2, you're going to have a progression test, right? That's going to be new.
We will talk about assessments a little later in detail because every subject area you might want to know about it. So we'll talk about that.
Then, yeah, labs we talked about, and then journals. There's going to be like journals that are mandatory, right? So you're going to like, your kid has to like prepare the journal for the previous week and submit it. The reading journal, right? Sorry. That's LA. Yeah. I think that covers. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Group 2?
You want me to hold it? Please. Blue time வச்சு ஒட்டிடலாமா எல்லாம் ஃபைனலாக கலெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு Hello. Yeah. Yeah. So what we explored was social emotional learning and service learning in grade 6 and
Parents, be
upwards.
good listeners. Thank you.
Avantika, can I have your attention, please? She didn't hear me. I know. Anyway, yeah, so this was a topic that we discussed and we had a few questions. For those of us who knew social emotional learning, there were not many questions here because our children are already exposed to it in grade 5 and they do have their sessions already. So the question was, what is the difference between CAS and service learning? CAS is something that the kids do. We were told that this is something that the kids do in the middle school and higher school in IB and IGCSE. And it stands for creativity, some activity and service. And therefore, service learning is something but a step 1 towards CAS. So it's a build up from grade 6, which was new. My son, who was in grade 8, did not do it in grade 6. So this is something I guess. the
CAS
school
is
has-
in IB. The
In IB,
terminology
yeah.
CAS that we use is for IB. We are not allowed to use that same terminology for the others. So it is service learning in till grade 10. We use the terminology service learning. Okay.
Yeah, but it basically adds up to the CAS orientation, which is required in IB. So that was one. And they have, we asked how many hours do you dedicate to this? And I believe we do 1 hour per area of learning, which is emotional as well as service learning per week. Do you arrange any field trips for service learning? Because it's something which needs to be hands-on. So yes, the school has tied up with, they have, depending on the project so far, and the kids in the earlier grades, senior to us, have done this. Do you have a tie-up or a collaboration with any NGO or any other social organization, which means is there a structure to the process? Where the school has tie-up with 2 NGOs right now, CoServe and Bhumi have been identified for grade 6, and that's what our kids will be then engaged in. Okay. Are there closures for any projects taken along? So if they take a project, is it something that's going to be closed in that year or whatever they do, any impact, whatever they have? And yes, the projects taken up are very small, which are focused on rapid building collaboration, and therefore there will be closures. One of the feedback that was given as a graded parent was, my child did do this, but there was no closure. So he doesn't understand whether there's been an impact or not. So that was the...
I remember that because what
Yeah.
happened is COVID came back at that time and we had a Fuel a Dream fundraiser, so crowdfunding event, and the kids participated immensely in it. But by the time they came back, the crowdfunding event people, when they came back, it was during their checkpoint time, and they wanted the students to go there, but COVID cases were rising. So what we did is we shared the event happened, and we did share the Gmeet link of how the session was going to complete it over there. So that was shared with the kids. But the point is, they were there at the school and they couldn't really see what was happening.
Yeah,
that.
so I mean,
So, yeah,
if I can add
definitely.
here, this
Yeah.
is this can work both ways because
Yes.
our children, being privileged children, have to
Yes.
differentiate between charity and actual service
Exactly.
charity.
Exactly.
So this project, if you take, so it cannot be service learning, is a very, very intense.
Yes.
So just a feedback, closures are very important.
Definitely.
Otherwise,
Definitely.
it becomes very easy to raise funds.
Yes. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I completely get it. But this is the situation that happened
Yeah,
at
but you
that
can
time.
make it voluntary even now because even
Mm.
after the checkpoints, I got back to
Definitely.
school asking, can a child go on his own because he needs to
Definitely.
know
Yes.
where it is.
Yeah.
done.
We
Yeah.
will get in no,
think
the
you
point.
should, because-
Definitely.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
Thank
questions we had.
you.
Team 3.
Quick.
So,
There's a whole series of books have been written here. Many questions and a fair amount of key understandings, I think, which she will present.
hi everyone. So, we're going to talk about the VPA and the electives. So, obviously, we had a whole bunch of questions, as you can see here. I think the understanding is that this will be very different from the 5th grade, where they will get immersive skills in certain areas. In the VPA, they have about 5 VPAs which the children will choose from, which will be movement, which they already have today, which is basically dance. Then there's music, there's drama, there's filmmaking, and there's graphic design. These are the 5 VPAs that they have.
6. Right now we have
Six.
6 visual arts
So
also.
they've already added. They told
Yeah.
me we'll be adding more next year. So I guess they've already added. So that's visual arts as well. Then in terms of electives, they have the following: tinkering, chess, contest math, robotics and AI, hip hop, self-help, which is negotiation skills, Korean language, and financial literacy. They have parkour and they have social science in French. So these are this is the gist of the electives that the kids can choose from. And just in terms of structure, the cadence will be 2 classes of VPA and 2 classes of electives per week. So I think what happens is that the children will be given a chance to audition or to be to go through a trial.
Can I explain that? So normally
Sure.
how we do it is we have tried and tested quite a lot of this over the years, and what works the best is something that is going to come up this year. So there will be a new list of things that will be added in both. So we are working out the progress is it's happening. So we'll give you the list of electives and VPA and compulsory sports 2 weeks after the school reopens. Okay, in a written form, with a form, and so that what we are planning is the students will get a chance to choose. Say for example, there are 10 different electives. If one class the child has to go for 10 different elective, by the time they do their choice itself, they will forget about what they did in the first. So what we will tell them is, out of this 10, some things the child connects with it faster, right? Say for example, I'm interested in robotics a lot. I want to see that class first. So 3 or 4 different sessions, we will ask a child to go and participate during the first 2 weeks. So that will be nearly 4 sessions. 2 sessions per week will happen. 4 sessions, the child can choose. The word is the child can choose. And for them to make an informed choice, we as parents and teachers will help them here. So it's not just because my friend is choosing this, I also want to go. That's not the whole point. So why do you want to choose a particular elective, a particular VPA? They will have a discussion together. So last time it was like we all sat together in the MPH And no, we had a list, and then we put it together, the list of things, and the students came up and they filled in which one they want to do. Okay, so courses like parkour, we need a permission from the parent. Parkour, you know that there is a lot of movement that is involved and a little bit more into the agility factor there. And then we do ask the parents to give us permission to allow your child to take it up. Another one is tinkering. There are tools that the students will be using. So we are looking forward to get a permission from the parents, because if they feel that it's not safe for my child at this year, please do let us know. So those information will also come to you. So this is the way it comes.
So that's also part of what we had understood from Sir. He did mention that the key to the whole thing is make the child lead the decision in terms of what the elective should be, what is the VPA that they need, right? Rather than you as a parent sort of pushing it upon them, saying that this would probably be good for you. I think it's important that we as parents have a discussion with the children and just chat with them and understand what is their interest like. And basis that, I think there will also be trials as well. What we had understood here was that there will be trials, and the important thing is these things will be running through the course of the entire year. So once you select something, there's a lot of investment that you have put in terms of deciding what it is. Also, the school has put in investment in terms of the right tools that you need. For example, in tinkering, you would definitely have to work with hammer and chisel and supplements, right? So those things will be provided, and hence it's very important that a child feels absolutely comfortable about what they're doing. And there will be a theme. I think at the end of the year, they will be presenting their entire the projects that they've done. And if I've understood it correctly, there'll be 4 projects during the year. Correct?
More than that.
More than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess throughout the year they will be focusing on those on projects basis the theme that they've picked, and I think pretty much have we have covered what is needed.
There are 2 options. Okay, thank you for that question. Sometimes a child comes up and says that I'm interested in doing drama this year. Next year, I want to try music. Another year, I want to try filmmaking. Of course, possible. But we want the child to stick with one visual and performing arts throughout an academic year, because they are working on a project. So if there is a drama, there is going to be a drama show at the end. So if they keep on moving from one to another, it will become difficult. So Winterfest, when it happens, there will be a dance show and music performances so it is all tied up in that way. So that is one thing. Yes, they can choose the same elective year after, same visual performing arts year after year also, if that is what the child is interested in. Yes, that's it. Visual electives, sometimes one semester the child sticks with something and they want to make a move. We do allow it case to case basis, but we do ask the child to work on a skill, because 6 months is not even, it's not even the time for them to explore that particular option completely. And these 2 courses, when you look into elective, is one of the favorite of middle schoolers. We start with electives on those days. So they will start their day with electives. You should see the way they have to go to 10 different places. The kids will be on time setting things up and be there in their classroom ready. Because this is something that is not an exam-oriented one. That's the first thing. And they explore different kind of skill set from people who are around, with different experiences. We do have a couple of parents who volunteer to do electives. If any one of you are interested in that way also, please let me know, because our robotics is done by one of our parents, Mr. Rahul, and kids do enjoy it a lot. He bring in a lot to the table on that way. And our Vimal sir here does the hip hop, another favorite one of the students. And every elective over the years that we have maintained is the ones that are favorite for the students. Okay, so we try to add new and then take their feedback. So based on that, it moves on. Yes? Yeah, please. Huh. Yeah. We will be sharing before they make the choice. Yes. Not be, huh. We are yet adding a couple of things there. So figuring out and working with a couple of people to add more into the list. I feel too much of a time will spoil it. The point is, you can't give them the feelers because they have not experienced in this. They don't know about what is going to happen. That is where our trust us in this process, because this is something of our research. Okay, when it comes to middle school, a lot of these kind of experimentations that we have done, and successfully we are running it, mainly because we have understood how it works. So there was one situation where we allowed the students to choose based on the number of slots were fixed, and children were choosing it through our website. I saw a lot of tears. Andy, I wondered that by the time I went there, the slots were full. No, but then what we last year, again and again, we tried with, and then parents will be writing, my child wanted this, you didn't give. It's not about that. There are, as a group, they started thinking about. So last time when they sat together as a team, and then they worked it out, okay, there was a good negotiation that I saw. This semester, I'm taking tinkering. Next semester, you allow me to take tinkering. Children figured it out. Those are the little learning and little joy that we want to take it out. Okay, and tinkering being one of the favorite courses, we are trying to add it into VPA and visual arts. Electives, so that more number of children can get that opportunity. So we are working it out in our own way. So please be with us. Thank you. Thank you for that trust.
You need help with holding? No, it's in any case not so visible also, so we are just keeping it on. Hi, I'm Avantika and this is Naz. We are going to present for the second language, Hindi, Tamil. French is a new addition this year, and Spanish. Naz.
With a couple of questions. The first question is, how do you judge the level of student? Like if somebody, if a student is Tamil native and he can't speak Hindi very well in home, so how do you judge?
Yeah, so to judge the level of current students or even the ones who are joining new this year, the school, they do a know your knowledge, know your level kind of an assessment that the teachers will be doing for every student. For the current students, obviously, the teachers know their students best, and rest all, there will be some kind of a way to assess their levels. And in case the child is lagging in any kind of any language, then they will get one-on-one support from their teachers. And homework is most definitely not the criteria for teachers to judge the level of the students, learners, because they have got options of taking help online or with parents. So not the best way to assess their levels. The teachers will be doing that from time to time.
And then is there a possibility of changing the second language?
Not as a default, but there are some exceptions wherein, like from Spanish or French, although for the current learners, it will be the first time they are picking it up, but there might be new students joining the school who might be already taking French as a language from other schools. They bring it here. So between Spanish and French, there can be a change to their native language like Hindi or Tamil. This is only if the student is really struggling with their current options. And if the teachers also feel the same, that they might be better off with some other options, that is the main criteria. So it will not be just the parents' decision, it has to be a combined decision between teachers and the parents.
Yeah, the third question is again similar to the first one. Any for the non-native Hindi learners or any learners, will there be any support?
Definitely there is one-on-one support always available in the school while they are coming here. there will be an option of getting support from the school wherein they have got some summer packages where the parent can opt. Just correct me if I'm going in some other direction. No, there is some assessments that they can provide. Yeah, there are catch-up sessions. Yeah. They can be catch-up sessions which the parent have to take it up with the teachers if they feel their child needs any kind of a support.
Okay, and there will be assessments. Will there be assessments every year?
There is in the rest of the probably orientation, they are going to share an entire plan of assessment tracker, and there will be graded assignments as well as assessments from time to time. There will be a schedule for assessments which at different milestones that they reach throughout the year and semesters.
So again, this notebook size, we were asking about the notebook size because this was just a feedback from us because the kids don't manage this long size books. So we just asked for small one, but short ones again, then, it depends on the teacher.
Yeah, it will be a school decision. Obviously, they order the stationery in bulk. First and foremost, most definitely that one point we did raise this issue of kids not being able to handle the really long registers. So makes sense what ma'am told me is that eventually they have to write on like longer sheets of paper, and they need to understand how to spread out the words, how to spread out their writing, how to gap and space, and be aware of a lot of other things like how many words come in a page or things like that. Basically, no, the size remains the same. But yes, so they might not be carrying, you still might not get to see the notebooks at home.
Okay,
Yeah.
so next question is assessment format. Like if the assessment will be based on reading or just listening or writing. So
Yeah, so there are 4 forms of assessments. They will be based on reading skills, writing skills, listening skills, and speaking skills. All 4 skills will be tested for the second language we are talking here. Yeah.
and again, usage of devices.
Yes, the kids are very excited about the device part this year. Yeah. So as of now, from the second language teacher, she is saying that she is not very keen on kids using the device rigorously or very often. Because with the language, it becomes very easy for them to really go and search and get the answers. And now we have to be more cautious with the chat GPT, not to forget. Anyway, so yes, in second language, they might not be encouraging the device too much. They will get their assessments in their notebooks and using the textbooks, course books. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to discuss that. I have put that up again. Okay, I have not forgotten. You told me that. Hi, this is Niba here. I'm Kavin's mom. The topic given to us was play and sports. I think we had the least number of questions in our group compared to the other. I'm not sure why. I think the first question was touched upon the other context as well. So the question is, why can't we have the same CSP during the middle school years so they build up on their skills? I think the recommendation is for students to try out new CSP every year. However, on a case-by-case basis, if the kid is very passionate about a certain choice and if they want to really strengthen their skills, that is still possible, and there is definitely flexibility in doing so. I think that's the feedback we got, right? I think the next question was around communication. This was specifically related to sports, especially the after-school sports. I believe one instance was there was a change in the basketball coach, and that was never communicated to the parents, and we just got to know from the students. So I hope there is better communication in terms of
I think someone else touched on, listing out the choices for CSPs and also any after-school sports-related activities. I hope if there is a mass communication sent out to the parents well in advance, that will be helpful. Um, I think the third question was around the summer camp. I think most of us would have seen the schedule for the summer camp. I'm not sure. I think the timing is very inconvenient, especially for kids who have long commute when you're looking at early morning classes. I think so. The feedback was to look at the timings to make sure if it could be made a little bit more convenient, and also provide more indoor options given the heat in the hot summer. If we could explore options like chess or like table tennis, then students can definitely make use of those options as well. I think those are the things. Anything you guys want to add, or did I miss anything? Okay, thank you.
So what I want to tell you over here is let them try it out, let them figure it out what they want, and I assure you, we will be taking care of that. Yeah. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Yeah. We will take care of it, is definitely a promise. Definitely. Sure. Thank you for that. If you guys want to leave early, finish it early, okay?
Good morning. I'm Ashvika's mother here, and she's Nishita, Vyana's mother. Yeah, hi. I'm Nishita, Vyana and Vihan's mom. So I will be covering the topics for computer science. What topics will we cover in computer science this year? We will be doing core.org. There will be approximately about 28 lessons in this particular programming language. It's not actually a language, but they would be learning algorithm way of learning and visual learning, logical reasoning. And this is to basically break the monotony of what they've been doing till now about Scratch. So we will be moving away from Scratch. So this is sort of a bubble sorting sort of mechanisms which will be used. And there would be usage of laptops for computer science and also to bring for school purposes. So we do have requested for sort of teaching the kids about cybersecurity, and they are looking into that, and they would give us options of how to monitor their activity in school. And there will be small projects that will be worked on throughout the year. So there's not going to be like an year-end project where they would be presenting to the whole curriculum, but they will be working on smaller projects through the whole year. And we have requested that there should be hardware components of the computer to be covered so that they not only learn software, but also know what actually is inside a computer. So that's probably sums up computer science. Okay, so this is the questions for global perspective is, what is GP? Okay, and the answer is, it is a multidisciplinary subject. And how will be the transition for GP given it is a new to them? They'll have a lot of collaborative activities like group games and everything, okay? And the next question is topics to be covered. There'll be 4 topics, and it will be related to the current issues. How will be the support from the auntie, sir for the collaboration effort? They'll be given a context, they'll given materials, issues will be given, okay? And what skills setup will be covered? There'll be research, collaboration, analysis, evaluation, and values. Now, reading material preferences, they'll be given a lot of reading materials. And, okay, now the reading material reference,
how will the subject help them in future? Okay. Now, my elder one is in 9th standard, going to 10. So, sorry, now, I just met her, sir. So he said that the global perspective, it's a subject which has a broader approach. Fine. And you need to give credits for this subject. And regarding, and you need to do a lot of research. You need to read a lot. And fine.
With regards to GP, I think there will be a list that will be provided with all the credible resources, and they will have all the reading materials, so that would cover GP.
And it's going to be related to the current issues.
Yeah. We'll show you a small consolidation video of GP at the end if we have got time. So to see how the entire process is going to be. Okay. So 8 key points. I'll be very quick. Radha, Ruth, you can pitch in, please. Device policy. We do recommend students bring laptops to school on the days that the teachers will be asking them to. Okay, so there will be a schedule that will be sent. On those days, the students can bring the laptop. This laptop will be kept in a device locker. The students will not be keeping the laptop with them. Okay, and $1 million question. Okay, we as middle school team do not recommend grade 6 students to bring phones to school. Okay, do not is very, very clear. Having said that, there are some parents and families when the student needs to go for some additional classes and communicate with probably with the driver, and both the parents are working. They need to have this communication channel open. Those times they can bring the phone, drop it into a tray. So there will be a laptop, mobile phone tray, where they will be switching off their mobile phone and putting it. Why I'm saying this is, over the years, it's not our first rodeo. We have seen so many things, right? So the way that it goes in, our idea is to make our students being responsible, not putting full stop and screen locks and all that. That doesn't work, okay? No matter what we try to do is their curiosity picks up and they try to do things behind our back. So let them not. My child who comes to grade 10, no phones, because she comes with me, goes with me. No phone to the school. But when she goes out for her music classes or other classes, I feel safe when she carry one with her. So it is up to us as parents to make that choice. But I'm again repeating, we as grade 6 team do not recommend mobile phones for our students, because we have seen issues popping up because of that. So that call, we are completely giving it to all of you, okay, to make. So this slide deck we'll share with you. So yes, just go back. The laptop, if you can click on it, it'll take you for the site, our KC High website. We have put the laptop recommendations there. A simple one. Only thing that they need to use over here is search in maybe probably Google Scholar. You open up their Google Classroom, look at their assignments, install code.org. All are these basic things that they need to do. So please don't go for any high-end variety. We have put our recommendations there. Okay, and please give them something that works properly. Sometimes what happens is, by the time a charger will not get, battery is draining out, it creates a lot of frustration for the students. So just keep that in mind. Okay. And before they start with the program, they will have something called as, from Common Sense Media, we take up a digital citizenship course. So make the students to do that. Then only they are going to bring the laptop to school. Okay. So there is going to be a clear-cut program for them, telling them about digital footprint, and probably by the end of it, by the 8th grade, they say, Vijana Aunty,
Can you please ask these teachers to stop? We know all this, okay? How many times you have to keep on telling us? But do they do the mistakes? Do they play in between and all that? Those things do happen. We are not saying that everything is perfectly, going to be. But the point is, they will learn with us. And it's a safe place for them to give those kind of opportunities. So please be patient with us in that, because we have seen the way years and years the students go through this process, and somewhere this idea of getting with the devices a lot will come in. If you are finding it difficult at home, please reach out to us. Okay? We will help you there. Yeah. So, yes. Please do not send snacks and food during the birthdays to school. We do not, because every month, so today they have an ice cream going on, and during the lunch time we will have every month end we celebrate all the birthdays consolidated. So please don't send any additional snack, or because think about 54 students, almost every day somebody will be bringing sugary stuff to school. We don't want. Yeah, not even chocolates, no, nothing, please. Everybody brings their own snack, have it. That's enough. Yeah. So field trips, another thing, integral part of their learning. You might have heard them talking about the INME trip. So there is an outbound trip that they will be doing in the second semester. Probably as parents, we will feel a little anxious. My child is leaving me for the first time and going somewhere, and I can't even take the call and all that. But trust me, they don't really want to talk to us when they go for all these trips, okay? It's only us who feels that way. They are enjoying, having a blast, and taking care of their materials. It starts there. Packing, learning a lot of life learning over there. So please make sure to send them, and also please to share all the medical related issues if there is an allergy and things like that with us earlier, so that we can take good care, okay? We will share. Okay, I want to talk about a bit about this continuous assessment. Do I have a minute? Can talk, right? Can I go? So this academic year, it is going to be called as continuous assessment in completely through semester 1 and semester 2. So it is teacher driven assessments. It is not going to be a particular day. This is going to happen with the schedule and all that. In every month kind of a way. So how it is done is, say for example, Radha Aunty completes a particular unit and she wants to test one part of it with the students. It will happen in the class. But will the parents get that information? Yes. That's where this assignment tracker, can you just show an assignment tracker, the previous ones? So just click on it just to see. This is the mode that you will see it. So language arts, what happens, classwork, homework, and their make it bigger. Yeah. So if there is any graded assignment happening in that week, we will be putting it over here. And this will be added into their Google Classroom. So every week we will be reposting it to the first under homeroom. So you will be able to go and check there itself. Okay. So what the child is going to be, it's just in a day. If the child is missing school for a day, they can definitely come back and check with the aunties, or you can also check it over here. Another thing is next academic year, our timing. Ruth, can you put the time? So the timing is changing from 8 o'clock. We are going to start with our sessions. So we will be getting nearly 7 periods per the day. So what we have done over here is we have added 1 hour per subject so that the student will be able to do this, as Auntie said, the catch up, completing some of the tasks, talking to the teacher, things like that. So they get enough time with that small group, or as maybe another teacher also walking into the classroom. They work together and help the students to get the conceptual clarity. Certain times in mathematics or LA, they'll do additional writing, sit and read. Those kind of things will happen. Okay, so every subject will have the timetable, and the rest of the things, once we complete it, we will put it in their classroom. So everything, one common point for you to be looking at is the Google Classroom. Okay, so you can align your phone with your child's Gmail ID, KC High Gmail ID. You will be able to open and see the assignments and the trackers there. Okay, done, right? Yeah. Yeah. So reaching out to us, this is the mail ID. So ms@kchigh.com. So you can just type into the mail, and please make sure to mention the child's first name and the grade and section, because there are certain times the mail just comes without any subject. It becomes a little tricky for us to understand. Then we have to look back who is this parent and figure out who is the child. So please help us over there. It makes the process a little earlier. So any communication related to the bus and those kind of things, make sure you send it to the school before 1 p.m. Otherwise, it becomes a little tricky. We'll be running around checking for the student. Yes, and Gen Admin. No, bus, sir. Bus. Okay. School bus. Yeah. Even you can send it to MS. We will be checking the emails. Okay. So either one. At least let us know beforehand. Okay. Any questions? Yes. Yes. So their entire academic year, how they are progressing. So if you look at their report card, we will be writing is as consistently independent, CI, then progressing and developing. So our idea is not to look at an A, B or C grade there, whether the child has the ability to work towards it consistently. So checking that at the end of an academic year doesn't really make sense. The child requires some support, we try to bring it up with them. So it's not that every assessment is going to be taken in that way. The teacher will let the student know how it is going to be. So there will be some small quiz. Every class they will have some quiz or some task they do. So that is for the continuous, formative assessments. It will keep on happening. Something specific the teacher wants the child to prepare on, we will be adding that into the tracker. Okay. Okay. CI, yeah. IGCSE and IB, it is entirely different system. Our idea is to slowly bring our students to that level. Okay. So what happens is over the years, what we have seen is the kind of anxiety and the stress, a grade and assessment, all these things creates, learning process and the journey is often forgotten. We think only about the numbers and what happens there. It's that process of taking them through that, right? So that is one important factor in it. So align it with the teacher's feedback. That's what is going to be. So CI, along with listening to the teacher's feedback, will be able to give the student a complete understanding about where he or she stands. Say when it comes to a subject like your second languages, they are tested on speaking, reading, listening, and writing skills. There will be certain times the teacher will be specifying a number factor for them to understand along with a feedback. How do you need to improve on? Okay. But see, over the years, what we have seen is this system works for us in the middle year programs, mainly because our focus is about how do we make our students independent learners. If they get that, then getting into IG and IB is easier. I can tell one of my students' parent is sitting here. So this child has taken 3 sciences in IB. Very difficult. Okay, so he's taken physics, chemistry, and biology in IB all by himself. And he has made the choice to write the NEET exam. That was his major point. That child comes to the class at times and he comes, Auntie, I have done this work till now. Can we sit and discuss? I've never sat down and talked to him by teaching this concept. Do you understand? The children who have that kind of communication opens with the teacher come and ask her or him about, this is something, Auntie, I don't get it. Can you help me out? Makes a lot of leap towards. So it's all about how do we prepare them to go forward and take the steps for IG and IB. IG and IB, I do say there is definitely a leap from it, but the experience of exploring all these things has to be there in their life during the middle year program to help them to do it over there in a peaceful way. Yeah. We did try out with the summative assessments this time. We saw a lot of stress and tension in the parents and the students. At the end of the day, we sat together and reflected, is it really worth it? No? The overall experience, you saw those kids coming out and then they put it together. We didn't ask them. So they were talking about things that they enjoyed in their own course of the academic year. So those kind of reflection is very important. This kind of communication with the parents and the teachers, it's very important. And the social skills of collaborating with the team. So GP is one such area where they do a collaborative project. Okay. So this is that GP video there. You can play it. So yeah. Those kind of ideas are mostly research driven. It's not me who is saying is what works for a middle year program over the years when we tried and tested out so many things and the way it is going up, it's actually working out. Okay. Hope I answered it. So this is a was when grade 6 students were presenting their projects to grade 7 students, and they did it the other way around. So grade 6 students went to grade 7 students class and they were talking about what they were doing in the. So there were 6 projects for grade 6, right, this year? You can see the way they speak about it, even though we can't see it. Their body language is so assured. They know what they are speaking about because they worked on it, right? It's cross-questioning. So the 7th graders are asking, why have you come up with this kind of a bias and what is it the local context over here? So I think we are coming to an end of it, but we have one. So this is something that we will be sharing. We are working on it. So we will be sharing when we reopen the school through the Google Classroom. There will be an email. But what we have seen is over the years, there are some of these email IDs are bouncing back from the parent group. So we want to update those email IDs. So we'll be sharing a Google form with the class parents now. And please share it with the team. And if there is any change in the email IDs, please update it. All of you update it. So we'll confirm it because we have seen that the parent group batch, when we put it as an email and send it, some people are not getting it. And in between, please change the ID to this and that. It becomes a little difficult for us. So please let us know the mail ID. Just fill up this form. It just take 2 minutes to complete. So please do that. Thank you. Yeah. Can we have some time, because all of us were sitting for quite some time, a small form of dance? Vimal sir is here. Finish it and leave. Are you all up to it? Yes. Okay, I'll take the question by then. Yes. 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 Progression test is from the Cambridge. They will give the papers. So that is going to be 6, 7, and 8. We will do the progression papers for LA, Math, and Science. They will be writing a checkpoint in grade 8. So rest of the one will be teacher driven kind of. Course. Huh. Child can have the order, not from the parents, from the child. Yes, discuss it with them. Yeah. Let's see. We'll figure that out. Definitely. The point is everybody wants it in the same way, right? So we will make sure that we give the best for that particular child. So over the years, we have seen some VPAs and some electives are pretty popular with them. So we are trying to include, we are doing our best in that way. That's the trial sessions. Yes, will begin. We can chat after this session if you have more questions. No problem. No problem.
Number of students in each elective.
We normally take it as 20.
That's why you're talking about the stats.
You're insecure, don't know what for. You turn heads when you walk through the door. Don't make up to cover up. The way that you are is enough. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you're not nobody else. That you think when you smile, you don't know you're beautiful. So girl, come on, you got it all. To prove I'm right, put it in a song. I don't know why you're being shy. And turn away into your eyes. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world. Nobody else. You flip your hair, gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know you're beautiful. So you're beautiful.